Just walking around the parking lot, it's windy out there. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell in. A couple of months ago, checked into a hotel. There was a Bible beside the bed. I opened it up. There's a message inside that said, if you are an alcoholic, if you think you have a drinking problem, please call this number. I called it. It was a liquor store. Let it out, folks. Doesn't get any better. My grandpa used to say, listen, if we all liked the same things, everybody'd be after your grandma. Grandpa used to say some weird things. One time I said, Grandpa, what's the quickest way to get to the lake? He said, you walking or driving? I said, I'm driving. He said, that's the quickest. Make fun of Grandpa. Actually, he was pretty successful. He was a veterinarian and a taxidermist. The sign said, no matter what happens, you'll get your dog back. You guys are all right. Want to go to Denny's later? Took Grandpa to Denny's one time. The coffee was cold, eggs were runny, the hash browns were soggy, the toast was burned. As we were leaving, Grandpa turned to the cashier and he said, my compliments to the photographer. Grandpa really hated Grandma's cooking. He said it got so bad there for a while, all the flies chipped in and got the screen door fixed. You guys are all right. It's turning out much better than I thought it would. My name is Gary Mule Deer. It's not my real name. I changed it. My real name's Elizabeth Mule Deer. All right, here we go. Let's work a test. Test check. 1, 2. Old couple walking down the street. Pigeon flies over. Lets one go. Hits the old man right in the forehead. The old lady says, geez, I wish we had some toilet paper. The old man said, what the heck for? He must be half a mile away by now. Stuff works better down here. Guy walks into Sears with a seeing eye dog, goes into the men's department, picks up the seeing eye dog by the tail, starts swinging it around his head. Manager walks up, says, can I help you? He says, no, we're just looking around. Well, since my memory left me, I've found a new place to dwell. It's down at the... So this burglar is going through a bedroom. He hears this voice over in the corner say, Jesus is watching you. He turns around, there's no one there. Starts to unplug the television, he hears this voice again. Jesus is watching you. Takes out his flashlight. Over in the corner, there's a cage with a parrot in it. Burglar says, was that you? The parrot says, yes, it was. The burglar says, well, what's your name? The parrot says, my name is Moses. Burglar says, well, what kind of a family would name a parrot Moses? Parrot said, the same family that named our Rottweiler Jesus. Like dog jokes, huh? Great. Dog walks into a bar, climbs up on a bar stool, says, I'll have a beer. Bartender says, that's amazing, you should be in a circus. Dog said, why? Do they need electricians? It's a musician's joke, all right? So this teacher is talking to her students about whales. She said, although a whale is a very large mammal, it has a very small throat, incapable of swallowing a human being. Little girl raises her hand and says, well, what about Jonah? He was swallowed by a whale. Teacher said, once again, large mammal, small throat, no danger whatsoever to a human being. Little girl says, when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask Jonah. Teacher said, well, what if Jonah went to hell? Little girl said, then you ask him. Whoa! This couple's walking down the beach, 60 years old. They're celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary. A genie appears, says, I'm going to give you each one wish. Takes the wife to the side, says, what's your wish? She said, you know, I've always wanted to travel the world for a couple of years. Just like that, fistful of airline tickets, helicopter arrives to take her to a cruise ship. Genie turns to the husband, he says, what about you? He says, you know, I've always wanted a wife 30 years younger than me. And just like that, he was 90. So I guess I better close real quickly here. Mother walks into her son's bedroom, says, "Get up, it's time to go to church." He said, "I'm not going." She said, "Get up and get dressed, you're going to church." He said, "Give me one good reason." She said, "I'll give you three. Number one, I'm your mother. Number two, you're 52 years old. You've been living here ever since you got out of high school. And number three, you're the pastor." Thanks, you guys. You're incredible. Now, when I heard the sound of Johnny Cash and Sun Records in the 1950s, I wanted to get into show business. I almost didn't get to hear the sound of Johnny Cash and Sun Records. You didn't either. You don't realize this, but in 1955 in Los Angeles, California, Frank Sinatra was working on a song that went something like this. "I hear that train a-comin', doobie-doobie-doobie-doo." At the exact same time in Memphis, Tennessee, Johnny Cash was working on this song. "Start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it, New York, New York." Thank God they switched songs.